on the power of positive selling. And one of the things that you had talked about, just as you get right into the book, and it's just great advice, it's the 5 things that you can do to increase your sales. And I'll just kind of nail them off here, and we could talk a couple seconds about this. But you increase the number of dials you make a day, or how many calls you make. You improve the ratio of calls made, or the calls made to calls completed. You schedule more appointments. You close more sales, and you get more money per sale. So one thing that you went over is 4 of those are worked all around ratios and managing ratios. So
yes.
I'm a stats guy at heart. So I love managing ratios to see where things come. For the kind of the newbies and some of the people that don't do this, can you kind of highlight why you feel ratios are so important in managing sales?
No, I'm glad you asked that question. I really am, because I was talking to someone the other day, and the person said to me, well, that's micromanaging. And it isn't micromanaging. As anybody who does any kind of sports realizes, that there's got to be a benchmark. There's got to be benchmarks as to how fast you're running if you're playing football, soccer, or any sport for that matter, or you're running a marathon. You benchmark what you're doing. The ratios really allow you to say, where am I in relationship to my closing sale, and how am I doing with that? So, for example, let's say somebody calls 400 people and gets through to no one. Well, then you can analyze that and say that they're not calling the right people. Let's say they call 400 people and speak to 400 people, but they don't get any appointments. Then you have to say what you're saying is wrong. So it allows you to analyze what the key aspects are that you have to improve, but without knowing what your ratios are. And it's not numbers. Sales is not a numbers game. People think it is. Mm-hmm. It's a ratios game. Without understanding what the ratios are, you can't possibly improve. You're just simply doing the same thing and hoping that something is going to be okay at the end of the day.
Isn't that the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results?
And that's what we see in sales all the time. We see that all the time in sales. It's people just doing the same thing over and over again. One of the things we should talk about at the end of today is about reinventing yourself and what that really means. But you've got to have a baseline. You have to have some idea as to what you're doing now. And the only way you can do that is with ratios.